heard someone saying you cannot practice, you cannot be the best criminal lawyer without being a criminal.
Yeah, there's
Is it true?
Lawyers have a bad rep in this world, basically.
Can I have a lawyer just for advice?
The other name for a lawyer is counsel, which means advice. And I know that in Zimbabwe we love to call people who are lawyers advocates, which is also good. That's somebody who's advocating for
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't just do law for the sake of doing law.
Exactly.
Come in with law that has a speciality. My favorite at the moment is artificial intelligence.
Because what we don't know also is, as you are going on Google, every search which you are doing, we think that is private. According to you and your cycle, it's private. But in the world, it's not private.
You need to be your own. You need to talk positively to yourself. You need to have your vision where you are going and be tenacious about getting that. Because nobody else is going to get you there. Yeah.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jerimonia Zungu, aka the Chartered Vendor. Welcome to the Chartered Vendor podcast. As I promised you last weeks, that I'll be bringing guests to discuss matters of business. We need to talk about sales. We need to talk about entrepreneurship. Today, I'm super excited, and I've got a guest who is a senior lawyer, a partner, a wife, a mother. I don't know if I say a grandmother as well.
Not yet.
Yeah. So welcome, Ms. Zigomo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's good to be here.
Thank you so much. So you are a lawyer.
Yes, I am.
And today we want to talk about law and business law. We want to cover, because we've got business people out there. Most of the followers of this podcast are business people. And they would want to know, probably we can start talking about yourself. Where did you start? Why did you end up in law?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, because this is several years ago, over 3 decades.
Serious? Wow.
But yeah, I actually decided that I wanted to become a lawyer at the age of 16. Yeah. And I had read a book about this American lawyer.
Serious?
Yeah. And I wanted to be a lawyer who defends criminals.
I
was going to say a criminal lawyer, but that has its problems.
Criminal lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I started law practice in 1993.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where were you? Okay, 1993. Yeah.
And when I started, I was I remember telling my partner, the guy who interviewed me, I said I wanted to practice criminal law. And he was like, okay, that's great. But I think within the first 6 months, I was not really enjoying it as much as I thought I would. And I think that's the issue with the law. You have to do a lot of different things.
Exactly.
So then I ended up doing insurance law. I also did administrative law. I was doing people's liquor licenses.
Okay.
I was also doing people's trademarks. I would help with the IP department. And then I also did a lot of family law.
Family law.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so in probably the first 3 years, my practice got very, very varied.
Okay.
And obviously with insurance law, you still had to go and do criminal work. Because, criminal law work, because some of their clients, the insured, would have had maybe an accident, and it becomes a criminal matter.
Yeah, but just a follow-up question on that. I've heard someone saying you cannot practice, you cannot be the best criminal lawyer without being a criminal.
Yeah, there's
Is it true?
Lawyers have a bad rep in this world, basically, because people will say that you would have to be a criminal if you're, I guess maybe if you're associating with a lot of clients who are criminals. Maybe some of those bad habits may rub off on you, but law is a noble profession, and whoever you're defending, always remembering that. There are many people that may be considered guilty, but our law is that you're innocent until until you're found guilty. So some of the people that the public may be, criticizing and saying this person is a criminal, etc. But has the law actually spoken?
Okay.
Yeah.
So from
I disagree with the comment.
So I've got many young people. They want to get into law. I know that being a lawyer is lucrative. What do you want to say to them? Like the young people, they want to get into law. Probably they want to know, which school did you attend to? Universities, for you to be where you are today, because we want to inspire the kids who are also out there, so that if we have many lawyers who can also shape our constitution, who can help us to make sure that we've got efficient and prosecutors with integrity. So I strongly believe that law is very important in any economy, in any country. So perhaps take us back.
Yeah. Well, do you want to know my junior and senior school or just university?
They want to know. Probably they'll say, no, if you go to this school, you will never be a lawyer.
I don't think so. I don't think so because, law, in fact, even my first year of university, we were coming from all manner of places, different places, all over the country. Yes. And that's the beauty of university because it just brings everybody together and you're the same.
Were you at UZ?
Yes, I was at UZ,
Okay.
And so I was at UZ and then did my master's 10 years later in international legal studies. I went away. I went abroad for that.
Okay.
Then came back and then just recently completed another master's at the UZ. So the funny thing is that even when I was doing the international legal studies in America, there would be, in our master's class, there would be people that cannot speak English at all.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be Japanese, Latin
Chinese,
American, whatever. They would come to class with a tape recorder to tape the lecture and then go back to the dorm and then now transcribe.
Serious?
Yeah. But people would have a determination to study. So I don't think that the background matters at all.
Yeah.
And we need lawyers from different backgrounds, whether it's race, culture.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
So when it comes to business now, because we talk to many business people here. Why? Because most of us have noticed that we think that we only need a lawyer when we get into trouble. So I've noticed that most of the times it's all about, no, I now have a court case. It happened to me at one point. I'm thinking that, no, this is a normal transaction. You borrow some money, you think that it's okay, you pay back. Before you know it, I'd paid, I think it was around 30,000. After paying back 30,000, I noticed that I had interest of another 30,000. And I couldn't pay. So the only thing which I got was a letter of demand. Next thing, a summon. Next thing, I'm already in courts. But fortunately, I had a relationship with lawyers already.
Yeah.
So they knew what was happening. But I've noticed that most of my clients, they only look for a lawyer when they get into trouble. So what's your advice to the business people to say, what should they do? Do I need a lawyer when I'm starting a business? Or I need a lawyer later when the business has grown?
Right, yeah. I mean, I think if you're looking at, I think there was a saying I once heard when I was younger, that white people will have three people that are a constant in their lives. The pastor to bury you and marry you, the lawyer to get you out of trouble.
Exactly.
I can't remember what the third one was, but yeah, there were these three constants. Maybe it was an accountant, I don't know. But yeah, you often get a lot of jokes about, you meet somebody for the first time, they find out that you're a lawyer, and they'll go, "Oh, I need your number so that when I get into trouble," and I'm always consistent in saying to them, law is not just about when
Getting
you get
to
into
trouble,
trouble.
yeah.
Yes, it's about risk,
Exactly.
mitigation, but it shouldn't be seen
Okay.
as somebody who bails you out of trouble, and particularly criminal trouble, because you need a lawyer for a number of things. A number of people who will have done a law degree will end up being business people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Running a business. Yeah. And some get into government. They are advising policymakers,
exactly, ministers,
politicians. Some lawyers are in the entertainment world. They're the ones that are making sure that the copyright elements around your songs, the books that you enjoy, all of those are protected. So there are many lawyers in very, very different
Even our
capacities.
president is a lawyer.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And he's got a soft spot.
Exactly.
For intellectual property.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that one, you have hinted on something which is very crucial. And you've said you don't need lawyers when you're now in risk. So the question is, if I have a lawyer, like I know that, I don't know how your law firms operate. Can I have a lawyer just for advice?
Yes.
Just to say, I don't know, you can give us more light on that one, to say, shed more light on that, to say, how am I going to, probably I want to start. I have got capital. I've got my $10,000 and I think I can venture into business. But wow, I've got a guy, like just recently, I was on call with someone from America. This guy is a software engineer.
Right.
He now wants to invest back home, but he thought of investing in South Africa. But boom, he can only do business in South Africa through a partner. But initially, he had offered the partner 30%. But the partner now said, no, I want 50-50. But the partner is not contributing anything.
Right.
So the question now is, how do I use a lawyer? Like, how do I use an Anthony in terms of saying, okay, fine, I've got this, even marrying. Like, I've got my properties, but I don't want a situation whereby when I get married, we're now sharing 50-50 after.
Right.
How do people use lawyers? Because people have got misinterpretation that I only need you guys when I'm now in trouble. That's when I'm now started looking for your number. Right. Sometimes I don't even know your name. I just written lawyer. So the question is, how would someone use a legal practitioner on every day of their lives, or monthly, or 2 months, or quarterly? How do I do that?
Right. So I think, let me start by saying the other name for a lawyer is counsel, which means advice. And I know that in Zimbabwe we love to call people who are lawyers advocates, which is also good. That's somebody who's advocating for somebody. Exactly. But counsel is another word which is not often used in Zimbabwe.
But I've seen you guys when you're addressing each other, it's always counsel.
Senior counsel or my junior counsel. And I prefer that phrase, because advocacy almost seems like we have to go to court.
Okay, exactly.
But counsel is very everyday. I think there's an American president, Lyndon B. Johnson. He had about 1,000 advisors. Yeah. And I'm sure quite a number of them were lawyers. And I'm always cracking jokes with, I've got a brother of mine who I always say to him, you're always consulting. You always, every decision he's about to make, he consults people. He'll consult his inner circle.
Inner circle, kitchen cabinet.
Yeah. And there's a wisdom in that. Because when you hear people coming to you and giving their advice, etc., it's not that you don't yourself have a way that you process things and you have an inner voice that talks to you. But in that many counsel, you get to hear people's experiences, people's fears, people's successes, and that does help you.
Okay.
So looking at a lawyer from that perspective probably will demystify a lot of things. And I hear from your question, which is very important, that we're not looking for a lawyer when bad things start to happen. We're looking for a lawyer almost as if we're calling them a counsel.
A counsel.
It's just somebody I can pick up the phone and talk to about whatever. So I would say, especially if people are deciding to go into business, have a chat with your lawyer. Yeah. You may not have a lawyer, but if you meet somebody whom you gel with, because in the lawyer-client relationship, trust
exactly, it's important.
Is very important. Yeah. And you connect with certain people. Yeah. And if you connect with the person who happens to be a lawyer, why not pick up the phone? Although, of course, we do laugh amongst ourselves as lawyers that people always feel comfortable asking us for advice and stuff, and they are shocked that we would ask for money, the free advice.
Exactly.
Where do you see people going into Pick and Pay and going, oh, I wonder how this can of baked beans, and then they just walk out of the shop.
Walk out of the shop.
But I think that's where, if you've got friends, you've got people that, because I think you could throw a stone in Zimbabwe now and you're going to hit a lawyer. There's so many of us. It's like
you're now planting. But if I ask also on that one, you've just highlighted on something which is important. Previously, we'd only used it offering law. Currently, I don't know how many.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how many universities are there now.
And what's your take on that one? Is it? Are we still producing those lawyers like you guys, or we're now just producing names?
Because
I've heard someone saying some of the lawyers will accompany you to Chikurubi.
I haven't heard that one though. But I think it's one of those things where I wouldn't classify it as it's a law issue. It's just an issue with education generally. If the policy thinkers or the policy makers are thinking long term, where is Zimbabwe going and where do we want it to go? Therefore, what do we want? Then, they will direct kids into a certain area. I'm understanding, I think I read this somewhere, or I saw this somewhere. China is educating over 1 million engineers.
Wow.
Yeah. That's setting it apart from America, which has so many lawyers.
Exactly. Because
what are they seeing? They're seeing a tech-ready, an innovative China that is going to be ruling,
lead,
and leading in that particular area.
Okay.
So yes, we've got a lot of lawyers, and we've got a lot of kids that are wanting they're wanting to fight their way out of poverty, and they think that doing law will help. But here's where I would advise them: don't just do law for the sake of doing law.
Exactly.
Come in with law that has a speciality. My favorite at the moment is artificial intelligence.
Wow.
If you're a lawyer with a tech understanding, I've got a friend of mine. She has done, I think it's an IT degree first and then a law degree.
Wow.
And now she's done a bachelor degree.
Wow.
And she's right in that space of data protection. There are those that are going into cybersecurity, but you've got a law background. There are those that are going into trade and finance and commerce. So it makes sense to be looking at the future and saying, where do I want to go and where do I see Zimbabwe going?
Because the world. Because we're now living in it's the whole world. I think like what you're also saying, to say yes, you can practice in Zimbabwe. Like if you say you're now a counsel, you can practice in Zimbabwe, but you can advise someone in states.
Exactly.
You can advise, because Zimbabweans are now everywhere. They're in Australia.
Disappearing.
They want to invest. They want to get into real estate. You are, like what you're saying, a lawyer who studied real estate is more dangerous
Yes,
in real estate because they
exactly.
know everything. Or a lawyer who is specializing. I think what you've just said, it reminds me of the book which I was reading. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
And I think the fourth law which is there, it says you need to have what is called specialized education. And by specialized education is what you're highlighting to say, be a lawyer, but get interest into where AI is going.
Yeah.
Because right now, I've also heard that if you search on AI that I've killed a guy, I've killed a guy, what can I do AI? They've said in states, if that information, the guys who are running the AI, the engines, if they see that, because obviously they know you've got your email, you've got a password there.
Of course.
So that information obviously is going to someone.
Yeah.
So they've said that information can be used against you in the course of law.
Yeah. Yeah.
In America now. AI also is now becoming dangerous because we are exposing. Because what we don't know also is you are going on Google, every search which you are doing, you think that is private. According to you and your circle, it's private. But in the world, it's not private.
But here's the thing. And I think Africa needs to really get clued up on this. The reason why China and America and so on are into technology, it's because of data.
Exactly.
Data
mining
is $1 billion, in fact, it's $1 trillion industry.
Wow.
So each time we're on the internet, whether it's our social media pages or our artificial intelligence that is showing us how to do A, B, C, D, somebody's mining our data. And where are they taking it? They're taking it, most of those platforms are overseas. Africa doesn't yet have the computing power. We probably do, it's just that our engineers
we're not there. Yeah.
We need to be taking control of that information database because it's precious to us. It's got our information related to the way that we think, the way that we make decisions. I was talking to a junior lawyer of mine. Traditional knowledge is so valuable.
Wow, yeah.
And that's something that is very special to a lot of the South economies.
Yeah.
And Zimbabwe is one of them. We've got so much knowledge about our biotechnology, our bio resources, trees, plants, insects and the like. And that knowledge is being held in people's heads.
Exactly.
That knowledge, if we put it on AI, it's gone.
It's gone.
Because where is it going? It's going to the places that are holding the big computing power.
Wow.
So, yeah, we need lawyers, but let them be strategically focused to where the future is going.
Yeah. Thank you. You know why I was smiling? Just yesterday night, I was watching Mr. Shingra Mtasa, the CEO of Musarira Group, highlighting this exactly what you've just said.
Really?
And he was talking to Trevor, Mr. Trevor Ngube.
Okay.
He was talking about data, and he was saying, if you've got a way of just collecting data, our young people must be collecting data. That's where the real money is.
That's the money.
So we have just highlighted something which he highlighted, and I think it's key, and it's something which we're not supposed to be taking seriously as people. But you've also touched on something which is key, the use of AI.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you are lawyers with 30 plus or minus years of experience. Now we've got young lawyers. The new lawyers, they're now going on AI.
Yes. Yeah.
Searching, doing their opinions. AI, what do you think? This guy, what do I say? What's your advice on the use of AI? I think just recently we had one of our senior lawyers being dragged into AI suggested a fake case. And it ended up being embarrassing because this guy is a senior lawyer who taught other lawyers at UZ. What's your take on AI and what's your advice? How can we manage? I know traditionally it was secretary. A lawyer wouldn't operate without a secretary. Now we now have AI coming.
Mm.
How can the profession also get help? Are you using AI currently?
Mm.
And how are you using it? And what's your advice to these new councils as well?
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for AI ethics or AI responsible use. But that's a policy position. So in any country that is deciding that the AI bus has already left the station, we better be on it. Yeah.
Exactly.
The policymakers should be thinking very, very deeply into coming up with AI ethics and responsible use of AI. Yeah, because then that sets the limits as to what people are doing. But with any issue, any new technology, there are going to be people that abuse it. That is the honest to God truth.
Exactly.
There are going to be people that abuse it.
Exactly.
But we mustn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. The issue of the casualties, I mean, you go on LinkedIn, you see some of the cases, real life people going, like lawyers with some years experience going, oh my God, this happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we've heard of the I think there was another case in, is it America or UK, where senior lawyers also went and irresponsibly used AI. But the main thing is that, what are people using AI for? Yeah, it's supposed to make tasks simpler and obviously more. You should be more efficient.
Exact grammar,
but you should not substitute your human judgment, your human reason that God gave you.
Good.
Yeah, that ability, because that is what your client is looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's profound.
Everybody can go on to Google doctor, but at some point you're going to need a real doctor, to look at you
exactly,
and to say, okay, there's a problem here. You at some point you still need a real lawyer to say, okay, this is the issue. There's strategy that we have to employ, and that strategy is 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
People think that the law is just about getting cases and repeating them to a judge.
Okay.
But there's strategy involved. When you get a case with a client, part of what you're supposed to be talking with them is the strategy.
That's how
the strategy. How are we going to go about this case?
That's true.
A good lawyer should give you a proper strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
you're not going to get that through AI.
Yeah, that's true. Ever thought about it? Why is it wrong to have your wife as a director in your company? Why is it wrong for you to have shares in your name? And why is it wrong to start a company in a partnership without a shareholders agreement? If you want to know about these answers, I'm hosting a seminar on the 27th of November at Mana Resort. We'll be having company owners, entrepreneurs, and senior managers to demystify why African businesses die young. You don't have to miss this. It's a must attend. 27 November at Mana Resort. See you there.
When we think about protecting wealth, most people think of the rich. But the truth is, every family, whether big or small, deserve and can benefit from a family trust. A trust is simply a legal structure that safeguards your property, your house, your land, your business, and ensures it transitions smoothly to your children. Without a trust, your assets may get caught up in disputes, debts, or even vanish before your children can benefit. A trust removes that risk. It sets a clear roadmap for the future. It's not about being wealthy, it's about being wise. Anyone can set up a family trust. Teachers, farmers, or small business owners, because preserving what you worked for is important. A family trust is more than paperwork. It's a peace of mind and a gift to the next generation.
Then on business people, I've been advocating, advising people to have family trust.
Oh yes,
because I've noticed that you get senior people. I think with senior people, generals, ministers, when they die now, it's now a chaos. I think we've had a case whereby a senior general died in 2011. Up to now, his estate is not yet been finalized. And imagine if there were cars that time, the cars are no longer even usable. If they are tractors, they are now even they are overtaken by technology.
Right.
But you're saying, why? Who should you get a trust? What's a
Right.
trust, and who should get it? Is it for the rich?
No, actually. Although, of course, having a trust is part of estate planning, and you said it correctly. I have a good friend of mine. We were in school together, and he registered a trust before he
Wow.
had acquired any properties.
Yeah.
He registered his trust, and
It's even possible.
yes,
Okay.
and this was 30 years ago.
Wow.
And he's still operating that trust, and obviously the trust has grown.
Yeah.
That foresight of, I know where I'm going, and I want to acquire generational wealth. Not only acquire it, but I want to leave generational wealth that outlives me. So if I'm going to do that, I need to plan.
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess this is part of what
Exactly.
you have been
Yeah.
highlighting in why African businesses die
They're
young.
young. Yes.
Because we're not planning ahead. We are kind of finding ourselves in a situation where I'm working. Oh, now I've got enough money to buy a stand.
Exactly.
And then we buy the
And then
stand.
buy
And
the
we
stand.
think that it's wonderful to have that stand in our personal names. No, actually. There's something to be learnt from the generation of people that have already wealth and have kept it for generations, because they, at the beginning of the start of acquiring wealth, had already thought to themselves, what could happen to me if I have a lot of creditors? My business does not go well. They're going to come after my house. They're going to come after my furniture. They're going to come after my motor vehicles. But if I registered my house in a trust, when my business, not because I'm out there scamming people,
Exactly, but
sometimes it happens.
It happens when you're in business. You're already you are already a suspect.
Yeah,
Tax, etc.
So why not have a trust that protects that? Because what you're doing is you're working for the benefit of your family. But if your business creditors get all your what you've acquired,
exactly,
and now your kids are on the street, what's the use of that? So partly you're registering a trust in order to protect your property, but also one of the main reasons for registering an estate, which a lot of people don't know, is that when you die, the taxman is still coming after you. They're going to come to get taxes from your estate.
Even if you're dead or alive.
Even if you're dead. So it's always a comedy going to the master's office and sitting there listening to the assistant masters lecturing the families that will be gathered there.
Because they didn't know.
Because they won't know. And you'll have the gasps of disbelief as people are
taxing.
What? We have to come up with money? This is my brother's estate. Exactly. I should just be getting the cars. So people don't know that there's going to be those taxes that are going to be levied off the estate. And what the people that have died don't know is that sometimes properties have to be sold in order to pay those taxes. So you were... some people are in the diaspora, they're working
very
hours
hard
that God gave them. And they're, buying that stand. I bought it for this older son. I bought this house for this daughter. And then when you die, one of those properties is now being taken and sold to pay the taxes. So now you don't have enough property to share amongst your beneficiaries. So people need to be aware of that. They also need to be aware of the fact that it's not just registering a trust that is important. You have to close the loop. You still have to register the properties in the trust.
Because most of the people I've noticed, they just say, Jerry, I think I want to register a trust. They do register a trust, but they just leave it.
They leave it.
I think we've got many people who've got trusts.
I even have relatives.
Yeah, but they're not. The properties are not moved into the trust.
Yeah, and so they used to be back in the old days, people who would take out insurance policies,
Yeah.
right? Because obviously there's going to be a tax
Exactly.
on your estate. But not many people, when they die, will have like just $50,000 sitting in the bank doing
No,
nothing.
yeah.
It'll be held up in some assets
Exactly,
and some
assets, yeah,
business
yeah.
ventures or whatever. So the thinking would be, let me take out an insurance policy, and then that insurance policy will pay out money. So I don't put a beneficiary on the insurance policy.
Okay. Yeah.
So that insurance policy comes into my estate
Okay.
when I die. And then that money is the free funds that are going to pay these taxes.
Okay.
So that my property remains intact.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could do it that way. You could say, let me take out, but still, why even pay?
When you've got a trust, so what you're saying,
when there's a legal way.
Yeah. So in nutshell, in nutshell, you're just saying, if I get a trust, there's no need for me to for my relatives when I'm dead. So let's say Jerry, I work very hard. I now have 5 properties. I put everything under the trust. I put my cars in the trust.
Yeah.
I now only have my clothes and my phones in my name.
Yes. Yeah.
It simply means if I die, my relatives are just going to cry, distribute my phones and my clothes. All these houses, they don't belong to me.
Yeah.
So there's no need for us to face the master.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So the point there, you should aim to die asset poor.
You should die poor.
Yes, asset pour.
Rather,
there should be nothing in your name.
Okay.
But you could still do a will, because obviously we have the family heirlooms, the tea sets.
Yeah, but talk to me. Do I need a family trust and a will?
You can.
Or if I do a will, I don't need a family, because some people confuse this. Because when you say you need a family trust, someone will just say, no. I have a will already.
Yeah.
And it's even, and do I also have, just recently, I met someone who said he registered his trust around 2001. But I don't know, the trust wasn't, I don't know, was there a period when trusts were not stamped and registered officially by the Registrar of Deeds?
I don't know that period. But I actually don't know that period. I know there was a time when they were only registering family trusts. So if it was a family trust, it should have been registered.
They would register.
Yeah. And it's still the position.
So
now.
if we do it and if we don't go, it's unlike a will. A will, I can write it, keep it without even registering it, isn't it?
So
what's the difference?
So the law on trusts is that once a trust has been written and signed by a notary public, and obviously the trustees, it's a valid document.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
It doesn't need registration.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason why you register it is because there are certain things you want to put into the trust.
Oh,
so if it's a family trust, we want to put assets into the trust and protect them. So not every asset is going to go. Maybe let me put it this way: not every property is going to go
through
the trust.
To the trust.
Yeah, I'm probably going to put the registrable assets like your car, your house, your stand, your shares.
Okay.
Those I would put in a trust. But you've got your mom, your dad. They've worked. They bought this lounge suite, this fridge, 19 such and such, 18 such and such, 19 such and such. And they feel that, when I die, I've got a grandchild who is somewhere in the rural areas. I would want them to have this fridge. I would want them to have those. Then you do a will.
Okay.
This is just you writing
things down. So as Black people, as Africans, let us normalize writing things down. And if you write things down, it will avoid you getting into problems. Then still on the issue of trust, because why I'm pushing for this, it's because I've noticed that how can a trust help me in a divorce?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it could be a trust. It could be a company.
Is there a difference? I'm with my partner.
Yeah.
We have a trust, but we're now divorcing. or we're divorcing, but we do just have assets in our names.
Yeah.
Recently, I had a client who had their properties as Mr. and Mrs.
Mm-hmm.
They were owning a company and they were owning 2 houses. The houses was Mr. and Mrs. The company was 50% shareholding. Then the guy caught his wife with another man.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wanted to divorce her.
Mm.
But he was told that, no, if you divorce, you are losing 50% of everything which you have. Because we had 50% shareholding. There was also 50-50 in terms of Mr. and Mrs. How could they have protected himself using a trust?
Yeah. I mean, look, we were laughing about it with some of my colleagues. We will be in these women lawyers groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a push and a pull because the women, if you ask women, they feel that a lot of men are doing trusts in order to disinherit them.
Yeah, definitely.
In order to stop them from getting what is
exactly
due to them from, marital assets, right? And if you talk to men, they're like, no, I'm just doing it to protect, my assets for my children. Yeah. So there'll be different perspectives. But the law on trusts is very, it dates back to, even before this century. So it's got a lot of jurisprudence in it, to the point where it is very hard to extract an asset from a trust in a divorce situation. In South Africa, they are trying, and
but
it's very hard. So if a man marries a woman, he already has a trust. In that trust, he's been acquiring his properties before they married.
They're married.
Yeah. Technically, that
He
woman
doesn't have anything.
Yeah. And that woman should not be expecting to be rewarded from the efforts that he put in prior to the marriage. But there are some instances where maybe he bought a stand and she, through her own efforts, worked to, put a house on that stand. Then the issue at a divorce is now, does she claim
what's in the trust?
Yeah, what's in the trust?
Of which it's difficult.
And now it's a procedural issue because the trust is a legal entity on its own. So it must be joined in the divorce proceedings between Mr. and Mrs. for this woman to now make an argument that this is a third party in our marriage, and the reason that this third party was established was to deny me of my my matrimonial assets. Or yes, it was set up properly, or it was set up for the right reasons, but I have put money, so there would be an unjust enrichment in this legal person.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's knowing how to deal with it. Yeah. But the long and short of it is that in a matrimonial issue, it's very hard to remove an asset from a trust. Our Matrimonial Causes Act does speak about the court having the power and the authority to go into a married couple's assets, including trusts and companies, and take stuff from there. But still, there's going to be a legal strategy that will need to be employed to get those assets out.
Okay.
So in one way, what you're saying is correct, which is this is a way to protect your assets. Another way is people should be signing, hopefully, anti-nuptial contracts and the like, post whatever.
But that one now, you see, it makes sound as if you don't trust.
But either way.
Yeah, it's more like you're getting into a marriage with a gun to say, no, if something goes wrong.
But Jerry, don't you believe that most people are getting into marriages like that? Very few people.
It's happening, but in our culture, to be like, I'm marrying a guy who is already saying, no, you have to sign this before you get married to me. But anyway, it's a story of another day. But what about just as probably the last one, What about if my wife and I,
Mhm.
we are all in the trust,
Mhm.
but we're now divorcing? Does
Yes.
it mean that the trust,
Yeah.
it is to remain working?
Yeah.
Like I've
Because
noticed, like Bill Gates, Melinda Gates,
yeah.
they've got their Bill Gates and Melinda and Bill Gates trust.
Mm.
I think that one, which gives people, is one of the biggest donors in the world.
Mm.
If you notice, they divorced,
Yeah.
but they're still working together
Yeah.
in the trust.
Because it's very expensive to unbundle a trust.
Serious?
Yes. Because remember all those properties that you then registered in the name of the trust.
Mm.
If you're saying
Capital gains.
yes, if you're now saying these properties, these assets come up to a certain value, and so my removing myself from that trust, I would want some of that value, which it's not strictly speaking accurate. It's not like a company. Yeah. A trust is different.
You cannot do valuation.
Yes, it's not about, oh, we've got all these assets and we're valuing them so that a beneficiary can walk out and say, this is my share. No, it's more now about what that person would be saying. I brought in as an asset. Maybe I donated some of the assets into the trust and I'd like to walk out. There it's going to have to be a negotiated settlement, because I cannot see any person who would have set up a trust willingly and voluntarily agreeing to take on the cost of unbundling, taking out those assets.
So we just benefit. Even if you're divorced, you just will keep your share, you get your share.
No, if they're beneficiaries, they'll just be kept as beneficiaries and they'll continue.
So
let's say it's the wife.
So if the wife, wives, if your husband has put you as a trustee, it means this is a trustworthy husband, isn't it?
Not always. What if he hasn't put you as a beneficiary?
No, you're a trustee, but you're
and
also a beneficiary.
Okay. Yeah.
So it means this husband is not planning to play games, huh? Well, but you never know. They can even register 15 trusts. Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
I've seen those happening.
Yeah.
So I've had an issue whereby sometimes someone will come to you and say in confidence, this trust I want to put my wife, but I'm not going to put many assets in this one. But I'm going to create my own with what? This one I don't want anyone. Me and my mother. We have everything in that what?
But it comes down to, why are people getting married?
Exactly.
Because if you're getting married, what you're saying is, I'm joined together with this person.
And I trust you.
And yes, we're trusting each other that we're acquiring whatever we're acquiring for the benefit. Together. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but young people, these days, people are now getting, like what you say, people are getting to marriages for wrong reasons. So some people are just getting in to get wealth from that person, and they dump them. But that was a profound discussion. And what are your parting shots? What is going to be your advice to that young girl who is dreaming to be like you? They've got many kids, Cholocho, Nyanga, and Nembudzia. They're dreaming to say, one day I'll be like you. What do you want to say to them? Then secondly, what's your parting shot to all those business people? Because I want from this podcast, people must come to your office so that they can get this advice. Remember, guys, you don't only go there when you're now in divorce. Go there just to say, I now have 20,000. I want to buy a stand in Rua. What can I do, ma'am, before I get into trouble? How do I even also select even an authentic realtor? Because most of the people are getting into problems. We want people, your parting shot to them, business people, that young woman who is saying, I don't have any hope. I will never be successful in my life. I will never see America. I will never see the legal chambers.
Right. But to that person, I would say that you need to be your own. You need to talk positively to yourself. You need to have your vision where you are going and be tenacious about getting that, because nobody else is going to get you there. So it's good when you can see people that maybe one could call role models. But at the end of the day, it's between you, yourself, and God.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really
Exactly.
between you and God. So if you have a passion of the law, yeah, go ahead. You can do it. Anybody can do it. And for the business person has to understand. I was talking to a lady who has her company, and I was talking to her about legal compliance. That not many businesses are even thinking about legal compliance. There's so many areas that your business is touching related to legal compliance, but you're not even thinking that, oh, this is legal compliance and I need to have a lawyer just check my stuff or advise me. And it can avert so many mistakes that would be costly and that eat into your wealth. So it's so important to have that counsel that is there, that is just, I remember there's a friend of mine, she has it's an advertising agency, and she took me to tea several years ago. I think it was 7 years ago. And she said, Rosie, I'm starting my company. She had already started it, but she was like, we're still new together. I want you to be my lawyer so that as I'm growing my company, you're keeping. So even if she had an HR contract, she'd just send it
to you.
Or she'd pick up the phone and say, there's this issue, And I really appreciated it, because people are thinking lawyers are expensive. But if you are growing together with somebody,
there's a relationship.
Yes, there's a relationship. And that relationship, it's going to be affordable for you. It's not going to be expensive.
So I can even say, represent me now, I'll cover you later.
Yeah.
So how can most of our viewers, how can they get in touch with you?
All right.
Because I know most of the people are going to be very interested in knowing about some of the things which you're highlighting, which are very profound. How can they get in touch with you? You on social media? Your contact number? So
yes,
that you can share it, yeah?
Definitely. We've got our website, and I'm on social media. I'm on LinkedIn particularly. I think if
Probably
you
on social media, it's what? It's
I can't remember my social media name. But if you Google Rosiline Zigomo, you'll find me.
That's good.
Yeah.
So your
And
contact
I
number?
practice in Mount Pleasant. My contact number is 0772 908 757.
Thank you so much. So thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our listeners. Thank you for lending us your ears and your eyes. Thank you so much for having us. And I would like to also advise you guys to comment, like, and share. I think you've had it. This was a profound discussion. She's touched on a lot of things, data. She's touched on AI. She's touched on family trust, business people. So I hope to be bringing more of this information. You can only get it from this podcast, where we only talk about everything entrepreneurship and everything sales. Until next time, it's Zigomo and Musarira, the Chartered Vendor, out.